Dr. Winnie?
Yes, sir.
You can take over.
Physicians' high and only mission is to restore the sick to health, to cure, as it is termed. A very good evening to all. I'm Dr. Winnie Matthew, IHMA Mangalore, today's host for this webinar. It is very important to seek blessings before we begin anything. So let's first seek the blessings of our master, Dr. Samuel Hahnemann, without whose discovery we all wouldn't have gathered here. Before we begin the session, I would like to give a small introduction about IHMA. IHMA, the national platform for the qualified homeopaths, is now a synonym for the quality in all aspects of homeopathy in our country. Right now, in the situation of COVID, IHMA Mangalore is conducting regular free webinar series on COVID, and today we are on the third webinar series. I would like to extend a very warm welcome to all of you to this third COVID-free webinar from IHMA Mangalore. Today, there's a discussion on homeopathic treatment protocol for COVID, and we are very fortunate to have an expert in this field who treats and manages the COVID patients very successfully, Professor Dr. Akshay Kumar Mishra. To talk a few words about him, he was a former professor at Dr. Abin Chandra Homeopathic Medical College and Hospital, Bhubaneswar. He was the head of postgraduate department of pharmacy. He did his MD in homeopathic materia medica. His teaching experience is more than 40 years, and his clinical experience is more than 42 years. He was a principal investigator in a CCRH-sponsored research project on benign prostatic hypertrophy. At present, he is rendering honorary homeopathic treatment in different social and spiritual organizations. On behalf of IHMA Mangalore, I wholeheartedly welcome you, sir, to this webinar. Over to you, sir.
A very good evening to all of you. And we are fortunate that IHMA is organizing this seminar. The goal is to have COVID-free world. And today I will share my experience on treatment of COVID-19. Actually, in the second wave, in the first wave, I have already treated about more than 100 patients in COVID. And the present second wave, I have already treated more than 200 cases of different stages of COVID-19. And whatever I am going to present is from my own experience. And I have divided my treatment into different stages, depending upon the stages of the disease. I have divided it into 5 stages. Can I have the slide, please?
Yes, sir. 1 minute.
Okay. And now, before going to that slide, actually, one thing, yes, okay. Yes, homeopathic treatment protocol for COVID-19. And next, please. Are you able to read it? The small letters, are you able to read? Okay, next, please. Next slide. So 5 stages. 5 stages I have divided. Primary stage with fever, body ache, restlessness, etc. Secondary stage with a cough and other respiratory symptoms. Third stage with a low oxygen and other serious symptoms. Fourth stage where patients require ICU, oxygen support or ventilator support. And the 5th stage is post-COVID complications, etc. Now, next slide. Next, please. Now, coming to the primary stage, actually, in the primary stage, we actually get symptoms of fever and mild cough. And actually, these can be easily treated by depending upon the presenting symptom. The treatment is very simple. The medicines which are frequently coming are arsenic, geranium, bryonia, rustux. In some cases, you get pyrogen, etc. But primarily, this stage is very easy to treat. And most of the cases, particularly pediatric cases, they respond, they are cured at this stage only. They don't further progress into subsequent stages. And what I usually give in my practice is that initially I start, actually Ferrum First is my first drug of choice. You know that Ferrum First is a medicine which is actually is given in all, in the beginning stage, in the first stage of inflammation. And we'll find that it covers almost all the preliminary symptoms that are found in the primary stage of this COVID-19. And only a doctor only prescribes Ferrum First 30, I think he will be successful in more than 60% of cases. And if the cases are pediatric cases, then it is very good, very well responding to that. And actually, I do not give depend upon one medicine, because in this COVID stage, it is very difficult to extract symptoms from the patients. Usually, we get patients through telephonic contact. So it is very difficult to get actual symptoms from the patients. That's why I usually give in the beginning arsenic alb 200 and Ferrum First 200 or 30. These two medicines I give very frequently at 1.5 an hour to 2 hours interval. Arsenic alb 200 or 30 and Ferrum First 200 or 30. And suppose you know the symptoms of arsenic: there is restlessness, there is thirst, there is weakness, and you will find fever may be aggravated during the midday or midnight, but actually this typical symptom we do not find in the patients. So in the beginning stage, I give usually arsenic alb and Ferrum First. But you'll find if the symptom of gelsimum is there, gelsimum symptoms, what are gelsimum symptoms? You will find the patient is very weak, and the patient likes to complete rest, and the patient is chilly. He always wants to cover his body, and thirstless. Two most important things are important in case of gelsimum: thirstlessness and chilly patient. And apart from that, you will find heaviness of head. If you find heaviness of head, not headache, it's a heaviness of head actually. The patient actually likes to just keep silently, to just lie down silently on the bed. No thirst, no demand for the water, and he likes to just take complete rest. So 3 symptoms are more important now. One is chilly patient, the other is thirstlessness, and the third is heaviness of head. Then I give gelsimum 200 and Ferrum First 200 or 30. Similarly, in the day 1 or day 2, I give at 1.5 an hour interval, and subsequently when the fever actually comes down, I give it at more distance, more interval is given, 2 to 3 hours interval. 2 hours interval, gelsimum first, then after 2 hours, this Ferrum First, like that. And coming to bryonia symptom, if you find the patient likes rest, but there is thirst. So rest is there, thirst is there, and there may be slight cough, no nasal discharge usually. Then we give bryonia alb. Bryonia alb 200 and Ferrum First 230. I give in the primary stage always Ferrum First. Always I give in this primary stage Ferrum First. Next slide, please. Next slide. Yeah, okay. And in case there is feeling of accumulation of phlegm, one thing you will find Rostux or Eupatorium purpura. If you find there is a lot of pain extremities or body, and the patient does not want rest, Rostux symptom, he wants to slightly move about, and then I give Rostux 200. If I give Rostux 200, I can also give Rostux 200 and Ferrum First 30 or 200 alternately. And if there is chilliness and bony pain is there, then we can think of giving Eupatorium purpura. Eupatorium purpura, I give Eupatorium purpura in some cases, but usually Eupatorium purpura is not indicated these days actually. And next thing is that in case I will find most of the pediatric cases, they respond very well to arsenic and Ferrum First. In very rare cases, I tell the patients that if the fever goes higher than 100 and 100, more than 100, 101 like that, then you can take one paracetamol-like group of drug, like antipyretic drug, you can take allopathic drug. Usually only first day, the patient may require this paracetamol group of drug, or subsequent day, second day, will find that is also not required at all. That happens in mostly in cases of the pediatric cases. But if you find the adult cases, they do not respond in 1 or 2 days. The fever is usually lingers about 5, 6, 7, even in some cases, 10 days like that. And one thing is actually pitiful that most of the cases I get, or even also you may get like that actually, the patients are so much now, they are apprehending that everybody knows the use of this some antibiotics like doxycycline and azithromycin and this some vitamins like that and some montelukast like that and ivermectin like that. So people, when the patients when come to our hand, they are using these drugs. I do not have any objection because you cannot say that you don't take that these drugs. But I always tell that you take our drug and you will find a very quick result. And definitely, when a person is in the treatment of homeopathic medicines, maybe it may be an add-on therapy, but you'll find the patient will never go to subsequent stages. At whatever stage that the patient is, we'll find from that stage the patient will be gradually go to a stage of curing, but not an aggravated and to go to the next stage. So usually this is the yes. So even if somebody takes antibiotics, actually, usually in 99% of cases, I find that only out of more than 200 or 250 cases I have seen this way, actually only 2 or 3 patients, they have never taken any allopathic drug, but they are cured with homeopathic drug, and that is just very soon, very quickly. The cure rate in adult is about 6-7 days like that. And in the pediatric cases, it's about maximum 2 to 3 days. Pediatric cases respond very well, maximum 2 to 3 days. And next slide, please. Oh, the previous slide, please. Yes, you will find in some cases, if there is feeling of accumulation of phlegm in the throat, if there is accumulation of phlegm feeling in the throat, I immediately start lachesis, particularly when the patient is adult. Because nowadays you find that this second wave will find even very early as young boys actually, 37, 38, 40, 42, 45 like that. They are the most victims, the victims of this disease. And in Odisha, I don't know what happens in Karnataka. In Odisha, I have seen that many young people between the age of 37 to maximum 40, 45 like that, many are going to, they are dying. Just because actually in the very early stages, the physicians, they are giving different types of drugs. It may be actually out of place here, but usually you'll find the treatment is over-treatment. Actually, just very quickly doctors are prescribing actually steroids. Even without the prescription of the doctors, some patients are using steroids. So, and some other medicines like, the pipe flu like that. Repeatedly, it is being broadcasted in the TV that these drugs have got very limited usage. Yes, they should not be used. But you will find that many people are using these drugs. So any case, whenever I get these cases, I strictly demand them. Don't take these drugs. These are absolutely not necessary. You have taken some antibiotics, all right, I allow that. And along with this antibiotics medicines, you can take our medicine. It will not interfere with that. But do not go for this pipe flu or this remdesivir or any drug like that. These are absolutely not required, particularly when you are in our hands. And so that's why you'll find that to prevent the future stages, to prevent the cases to go to next phases, I always use in case of adults, and particularly persons having diabetes and hypertension, and in the elderly cases, I always, from the very beginning, I give lachesis 200, thrice daily. Lachesis 200 thrice daily. So now the drug may be 3. One is the arsenic or arsenic parampus alternately, or bryonia parampus or gelsemium parampus, whatever comes as like that. But I add then lachesis 200, 1 dose thrice daily. And even in cases where that is associated with diabetes and this blood pressure, I give from the very beginning, I give the eucalyptus mother tincture. eucalyptus glove mother tincture. I will tell you about the use of eucalyptus mother. Why I am using eucalyptus mother tincture? You will find that eucalyptus mother tincture, eucalyptus is a drug which covers right from the beginning of the cold up to the stage of typhoid, and even it protects the kidney. And also you will find that it is also, you will find it is useful in case of typhoid. So usually from the very beginning, in case of adults, particularly elderly people, and particularly the persons who are associated with this comorbidity like this diabetes and this hypertension like that, from the very beginning I give eucalyptus mother tincture. And next slide. Now, to control fever, in certain cases, to control fever, two medicines are very important. I give usually, one is the Cedron mother tincture, Cedron Q. Cedron Q. You see, when the fever actually persists more than 3-4 days, or usually I get many cases which are being treated with allopathy medicines. In the 5th day, in the 6th day, the fever is not responding at all. We'll find in many cases when fever, even if fever is not responding to antipyretics of suppose Calpol or paracetamol 650 like that, it is not responding. In those cases where adult case or elderly cases where you find the fever is more than 3-4 days or 5 days like that, or even I get cases at 6 days or 7 days like that, I immediately start Cedron mother tincture. Cedron mother tincture and eucalyptus mother tincture. Cedron Q, 20 drops, 15 to 20 drops 4 times daily with little water after half an hour after food. And eucalyptus mother tincture, 15 to 20 drops 3 to 4 times daily before half an hour before food. So we'll find that most of the cases you'll find after using this Cedron, we'll find most of the cases the fever will immediately come down. Even if suppose you do not have Cedron mother tincture with you, you can use Cedron 200. Cedron 200 or even Cedron 30 you can use. In one case in a peripheral area where the person they are not able to get Cedron mother tincture, I told, all right, you use Cedron 200, and you'll be astonished that within 1 day of taking this, she was using allopathy medicine, but the fever was not cured, not being controlled. But after using Cedron 200, and of course this Lachesis 200 and other drugs which are indicated drugs, I found that the patient was cured. The fever was cured within just 1 day. The next day, after 24 hours, you'll find fever came down, and the 3rd day, fever was quite normal. So to control fever, actually, it may be required to give Cedron mother tincture or Cedron potency and eucalyptus mother tincture. Okay. And occasionally you will find to control fever, we may require Pyrogen 200, 1 or 2 doses. Once daily for Pyrogen 200, once daily for 1 or 2 days. Actually, I give Pyrogen 200 very in restricted cases. You know that in case of any pyogenic infection, Pyrogen 200 can be given 1 or 2 doses. Daily 1 dose for maybe maximum 1 day or 2 days. That also helps here. And in certain other cases, you will find other medicines, common medicines, which may be required in case of fever, maybe Pulsatilla. As you know that the Pulsatilla cases, they are not chilly, they are air hunger, they want fan, even if there is fever, but the person likes to use fan. And thirstless, so there is a requirement of fan, the patient is not chilly, and thirstlessness is there, and the fever is usually aggravated in the evening hours. Fever aggravated in the evening hours with thirst is Merxal, and fever aggravated without thirst in the evening and it is not chilly, we'll find it is Pulsatilla. If it is chilly patient and with thirst aggravated evening, that is Merxal. Please remember, probably you know that if fever is aggravated in the evening, the patient is chilly and the patient is thirsty, the medicine is this Merxal. And if the patient is the fever is aggravated in the evening hours and the patient is not chilly, wants fan and thirstless, then the drug is Pulsatilla. So the patient may require Pulsatilla, or even he may require Merxal, or in certain cases, Sepia may be required. You know that Sepia is also a chilly patient, and Sepia actually the Sepia also is aggravated in the evening hours. But you will find that this in the second wave. I found that sepia is very frequently indicated. Very frequently, I find use of sepia, and sepia is not only indicated in the primary stage or secondary stage. You will find sepia is indicated in the even towards the very critical stages. Even it is also indicated in case of mucormycosis. I will discuss it later on. So this is about the fever, and one thing is very important. You will find that in many cases, when the fever is 3, 4 days, 5 days like that, you will find the patient there is loss of smell and taste. So you'll find the first drug of choice is next slide, please. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. So actually, you may require Baptisia mother tincture or Echinacea mother tincture. Very, very infrequently I use this. Baptisia Q and Echinacea Q, but rarely I use this. It is not very frequently used by me. Next slide, please. So now one important thing you must remember that is the loss of smell and taste. You will find in 3rd, 4th, 5th day, you will find there is loss of smell and taste. And the first drug of choice is phosphorus 200. Please remember that on any case I have given phosphorus 200 twice daily. In the 3rd day, maximum in the 3rd day, we will find the smell will be quite normal. It restores the smell and taste. In very rare cases for loss of taste, we may have give Zinc met, and in case of loss of smell, other drug of choices are Calcarea carb, Calcarea sulf, Antimtat, arsenic iode, Kali iode, Pulsatilla, and sepia. These drugs may be required. In certain stages, you will find these drugs may be required in case of loss of smell. One is Calcarea cal, Calcarea sulf, and Antimonium tatum, Antimtat, arsenic iode, Kali iode, Pulsatilla, and sepia. I will discuss about this arsenic iode and Kali iode in the later stage. These are very important drugs in the treatment of COVID-19. Next slide, please. Now we are going to second stage. In the second stage, actually, to control and prevent bleeding and clotting disorders, you do not expect that the patient will tell all these things to you, because to get symptoms from a COVID case, the patient is not in front of you. You are not going to examine the patient personally. You are to only listen sometimes from the attendants, not from the patient directly, and you have to depend on that. And our primary aim in the treatment of COVID-19 is let my patient not go to the next stage or the stages where actually oxygen will be required, ICU will be required, ventilator will be required. I am 100% sure that if we use our homeopathic medicines, we'll find no patient will go to these stages. And a lot of cases I have treated. Even in ICU cases also I have treated. And I'll find that no case, any patient who is receiving homeopathic drug is just coming to the, in the path of cure, but never, no case. I can tell you, I have treated many cases, very serious cases here. If you like, I have told some patient who is about 63 years, was in a very severe stage. And if you like, I'll connect him and he will tell his experience how he is cured. But later we'll see that if time permits, we can go for that. But please remember, so now secondary stage to control stage, secondary stage actually to control first is prevent bleeding and clotting disorder. To prevent bleeding and clotting disorders, 3 more important medicines are there. One is lachesis, second is Crotalus horridus, and the third is phosphorus. Lachesis, remember please, lachesis, Crotalus horridus, and phosphorus. And usually, because lachesis drug covers the symptoms right from the beginning till the end, even in case of post-COVID symptoms also, I prefer lachesis. In certain cases, actually, in case of cardiac complications is there, I take recourse to Crotalus horridus, but usually my choice of medicine is lachesis. So I give lachesis from the beginning of the second, even in the And in the late primary stage and the beginning of the secondary stage, lacusis is almost a must in my prescription. So lacusis, Brutalus ferridus, and phosphorus. These three are most important remedies in case of to control bleeding and clotting disorders. Now coming in the secondary stage, you will find one most important symptom is cough. And it is very easy to cure cough. Be sure, if the patient is taking homeopathy medicines, be sure in 24 hours. I have treated a lot of cases because everybody is having cough. In 24 hours, the cough must be reduced. The cough must be reduced. And the medicines are very simple. What are the medicines I give in case of cough? Stanum Met. Usually Stanum Met cough I will, because you will find by this time you will find the patient is coming to a weak stage. The patient is weak and there is cough, and Stanum Met cough is aggravated by talking and laughing. Talking and laughing will find also, causticum is also aggravated. Talking also will find phosphorus is also aggravated. But we'll find the Stanum Met talking is different. We'll find he cannot be able to talk freely. Just trying to talk means there will be cough. There will be feeling of dyspnea like that. There will be dyspnea. So Stanum Met is very easy. Just remember two symptoms. If the cough is aggravated by talking and laughing, select Stanum Met because weakness is already there. Weakness is already there. Select Stanum Met. So Stanum Met and Cuprum Met if the cough is ameliorated by taking water. Ask your patient or his attendant whether after taking little water, the cough is ameliorated for at least 1 minute. Then think of Cuprum Met. Cuprum Met 30 you can give. Stanum Met 200 you can give. Three times a day. Stanum Met and Cuprum Met. In some cases, you will find in case of female patients, you will find Squilla may be required. Squilla may be required. Squilla 30 may be required because you will find there is cough leading to sprouting of urine. During coughing, there will be sprouting of urine. So just give Squilla. You can give Squilla. And Hyoscyamus, you know the Hyoscyamus cough is aggravated on lying down. So you will find Hyoscyamus. There is a loss of smell also is in Hyoscyamus, and Hyoscyamus is aggravated lying down. When the patient lying down, it comes to lying down state, we will find there is aggravation of cough and select Hyoscyamus based on that. And another is Bromium 30. You could remember that Bromium 30 is a medicine for post-pyrexial cough. Please remember, for post-pyrexial cough, Bromium 30 is most important drug, and particularly when the throat is affected. You will find in case of COVID, I am saying that many cases, 99% of cases will find there is some irritation in the throat. Even after cure, also you will find the patient is complaining that the throat is slightly discomfort is there. Slight discomfort is there in the throat. And if that is the case and the cough is aggravated, you can give Bromium 30. Usually, of course, Bromium 30 cough is aggravated at night, but forget that. Most important drug you can think in case of post-pyrexial cough is Bromium 30. But I've already told you that Stanum Met 200 and Cuprum Met 30 as most commonly coming in my prescription. And along with Stanum Met 200 and Cuprum Met 30, I always give Phosphorus 200 twice daily for at least 1 or 2 days to cure cough. But Phosphorus is separate. Phosphorus I will discuss it separately. But Phosphorus to cure cough, please remember Stanum Met when there is aggravation from talking or laughing and there is profound weakness. Cuprum Met 30 when there is the cough is ameliorated by taking slight water. If the cough is ameliorated by taking warm water, you can think of giving Spongia. But usually I find it is Cuprum Met 30. And if the cough is aggravated by lying down, we'll find it is Hyoscyamus 200 you can give. Okay? And give Phosphorus 200 along with that for 1 or 2 days twice daily. So that part is cough. Be sure you can cure 100% of cough, almost 100% of cough within only 24 hours. Be sure of it. And next we'll find actually, coming to, then you may for cough, you may require Ammon-Carb. You may require Ammon-Carb or Kali-Carb. You'll find Ammon-Carb is a drug. It is covering both the lungs, the affection of the lungs as well as the heart. And you know that Ammon-Carb cough is aggravated towards about 2 to 3 a.m. And Kali-Carb cough is aggravated about 3, 4 a.m. like that. But these two drugs may be required in certain cases. But and then next thing is if the patient is at home and we have to actually see the changes in the lungs. In many cases, you'll find nowadays you'll find the lungs is that is patchy, ground glass patchy appearances throughout the lungs, lung treat. And you'll find the CT score that goes high. Even I am now treating a case, the CT score is 24/25. 24/25. This is a very serious case. I will discuss about this case later on while during presenting my cases. You'll find the case is very well responding to our homeopathy medicines. And in that case, as what I actually give, now you see fever is no more, fever is there, cough is there, chest discomfort is there, we'll find, and even if you will find oxygen may be low, even if you find, and in this stage, our aim is to protect the lungs at all cost. So two important medicines are there. Please remember, Bryonia, I give usually 50 millismol scale. If possible, you give 50 millismol scale. Otherwise, you give 200 potency or 30 potency. 200 will be better. So Bryonia 0/3 and Kali Iode 0/3. These two medicines I will discuss later on. Bryonia 0/3 and Kali Iode 0/3. You will find the lungs will be definitely protected. Bryonia 0/3 and Kali Iode 0/3. I usually give the bottle 10 strokes and add 10 drops medicine in 2 teaspoons of water and take the whole. Take like this 3 times a day. Bryonia 0/3 and Kali Iode 0/3. Please remember that Bryonia is the drug which will protect the lungs and the pneumonia and the lung fibrosis. And you'll find even I am treating cases where CT score is as high as 25/25, and the cases are well with me, very well. Because I am getting those cases in the late stage. Not that I am treating them from the very beginning and the case, the CT score went high. No, never. You will find the CT score and the CRP. I have treated many cases. Right from the beginning, you will find when homeopathy medicine is given, you will find the CRP will be gradually reduced and the CT score will be gradually reduced, or it will not go high. I have treated cases beginning from the CT score 10, 11, up to 24. And in every case, I have got result. So now two important remedies, please remember, Bryonia and Kali Iode. You will find Kali Iode is a medicine. It is indicated right from the beginning till the end. Right from the beginning till the end. Beginning of any coryza, when there's running of nose, sneezing is there, acute discharge is there, stoppage of nose is there. And in the late stage, you will find in case of COVID-19 cases, mucormycosis. Because you will find Kali Iode is a drug which actually takes care of many fungal infections anywhere. Right? You please go through Boric book, you will find it takes care of many fungal infections, even in skin, or over the skin, as well as anywhere you will find. So one of my choicest medicine for mucormycosis, I will discuss it later on, is Kali Iode. And Kali Iode I will find is very effective to control, to prevent the any further damage to the lungs, and also it protects the lungs. Now, to protect the lung damage, the medicines which are required is arsenic iode. I usually give it 30 or 200 or 0/3. And lachesis 200 or 1 m. Even in certain cases, I have given 50 m. And antim ars 30 and pneumococcin 200, abrotanum 200. Please remember, these drugs which I give to prevent the lung damage, or even where there is damage, where there is already fibrosis, these drugs will help. These drugs are usually arsenic iode, lachesis, antim-ars, pneumococcin, and abrotanum. Pneumococcin I give actually very few doses, 1 or 2 doses, 1 dose per day daily, about 3 to 4 doses, 3 to 4 days like that, pneumococcin 200. But usually I give arsenic iode. I do not know whether you are using arsenic iode or not. Please remember that arsenic iode is my choicest drug in case of the COVID treatment. Usually when there is no fever, I select 2 drugs to protect the lungs, not to go to any bleeding or clotting disorder, and to prevent mucormycosis. You please give 2 drugs. I give lachesis 200. Usually in the beginning, 3 doses per day, 1 week, 2 doses per day, 2nd week, 1 dose per day, 3rd week. And arsenic iode, usually in the beginning, I give 3 doses in the 1st week, 2 doses in the 2nd week, and 1 dose, another 15 days, another 2 weeks, I give arsenic iode 30. And arsenic iode is most important. Why should I give arsenic iodide? Why should you give arsenic iodide? Because arsenic, this is actually a tubercular miasm. This COVID-19 will find the miasm is mostly tubercular. The miasm is mostly tubercular, and later on you will find it is syphilitic or like that. But mostly in the beginning it is soric and tubercular. And the most important tubercular drugs are arsenic iodide, kali iodide, and sepia, and also you'll find tuberculin. In where you find fever is not responding, or the case is the oxygen is not coming to the normal stage, 99, 90, 98, 99, like that, you can give 1 dose tuberculum at the bedtime for about 3 days. 3 days. You may give 200 or you may give even 1 m. You give 1 dose tuberculum 200 or 1 m at the bedtime for about 2 to 3 days. That is enough. We'll find the case will quickly respond and the oxygen will quickly come to normal. So to prevent the lungs for further damage, I have told you arsenic iodide, pneumococin, and another is abrotanum also. Please remember abrotanum, because abrotanum is helping us to restore the oxygen saturation. We'll find abrotanum, because you read abrotanum, we'll find that abrotanum is a drug particularly indicated where there is metastasis. Changing it. Metastasis, you might be remembering that diarrhea is checked and rheumatism begins. Because you will find in COVID-19, the disease is fast changing to severity and different organs are being affected. No organ is left out. Almost all the organs are gradually affected, leading to multi-organ failure. That's why remember, please, abrotanum 200. And abrotanum is also a remedy for this pneumonia and pleural effusion. So usually, please remember abrotanum to protect the lung. And in severe lung damages and fibrosis, arsenic iodide, in some cases, I give arsenic iodide usually, in many cases, acid hydrocyanic. You know hydrocyanic acid? Hydrocyanic acid is a drug which is indicated usually at the collapse stage of the lungs. At the collapse stage of the lungs, hydrocyanic acid is a drug. So you can remember hydrocyanic acid, abrotanum, and phosphorus and bryonia, and also arsenic iodide. Please remember that 3 mother tinctures I usually use, that is Aspidosperma Q, Blatta orientalis mother tincture, and Balsam Peru Q. Aspidosperma, all of you are using probably Aspidosperma Q, but Blatta Q also some of you are using Blatta Q, but please remember Balsam Peru mother tincture, where you will find there is a lot of infection is there, rattling chest is there, chest is full of rhonchi and rales. You select there Balsam Peru mother tincture. Balsam Peru mother tincture, 10 to 15 drops 3 times a day. And you'll find the infection will be controlled very soon. And you can give also Aspidosperma Q mother tincture, or also you can give Blatta Q some cases. But remember that there is a viral posting is there that Aspidosperma Q is controlling, is immediately controlling raising the oxygen. It is not like that. It cannot raise like that. So now coming to the third stage. Now third stage you will find with low oxygen and other respiratory symptoms, and we'll find physician cannot get individual symptoms. So at that time you cannot get the individual symptoms because it is the stage is very high, and you cannot get right symptoms from patient. So that's why here usually I give multiple drugs, third. Even from the beginning also I give 2 drugs or 3 drugs at times. But in the third stage, I give you usually, even in certain cases where in the very severe case in the ICU, I have given 5-6 drugs at a time. After just giving 5-10 minutes interval. All the allopathy medicine, whatever you are taking, you take, but you take this, our remedy. And you'll be astonished that the result is experienced. You can appreciate the result just within 24 hours. 3 drugs, please remember, to increase the oxygen level and to further and to keep the control over the damage of the lungs. One is abrotanum 200, Second is lachesis 200, 1 ml or 50 ml, 10 ml or 50 ml even. And the third drug is, I think it is Veratramal. Veratramal. In some cases, I had where the patients are in in the ventilator, and the patients attendants could request the doctor to give our medicines. I had given actually these 3 drugs to everybody. First one is Abrotanum 200. Second is Lachesis 200 or 1 ml or 10 ml or 50 ml, depending upon the stages. You can 3 times a day, or even frequent at more frequent interval. And Veratramal 200. Usually I give Veratramal 200. And in certain cases also I give Caroves 200 and acid hydrocyanic, and also acid hydrocyanic. So remember these drugs, there you cannot get the correct symptom. And of course, in certain cases I give Vanadium 30. You know, Vanadium 30 helps to raise the oxygen. Vanadium 30 also raises the oxygen level. So to raise the oxygen level, the common drugs are Vanadium 30, Abrotanum 200, Veratramal 200, Caroves 200, and Lachesis 1 ml, 10 or 50. And you can give multiple drugs. I have given in most of the cases, and I am getting result. And I'm getting very beautiful result just within 24 hours. Just within 24 hours. Next stage, please. Next slide. Okay. In the 4th stage, you will find patients in ICU and ventilator support. So commonly I have already told you, Lachesis 1 ml, Abrotanum 200, Veratramal 200, acid hydrocyanic 30, and Caroves 30. Caroves 200. Caroves 200. And in some cases, you may require opium also, because you know that opium is a medicine which is usually required when no organ is responding. That is the stage of opium. When you find that your patient is not responding, you can give opium. Opium you can give 200 potency or even 30 potency. You can give opium 30. But usually, you will require Lachesis, Abrotanum, Veratramal, and Caroves. Very rarely you may have to use acid hydrocyanic. And in certain cases also, you may have to require Camphora in 1 ml potency. Camphora 1 ml, because you know in the collapsing stage of any patient, 2 medicines are very important in homeopathy. One is Caroves, the second is Camphora. But don't think much about that. First of all, if you give Lachesis, Abrotanum, Veratramal, and Caroves, think that you will have about 90% result you will get. Just I have seen cases within 24 hours you will find the oxygen requirement will be reduced. Out of 100% oxygen support, I will be reduced within 24 hours. And about in 3-4 days you will find oxygen requirement will require only about 3-4 to 6 liters requirement will be there. So the result is almost a very quick results. Very quick results. So these are some of the medicines I have discussed about COVID-19 cases. And now coming to post-COVID complications. So post-COVID complications, usually we are getting a lot of cases of post-COVID complications. And the complications may be, you know that it may be bleeding or clotting disorders, for which many physicians are giving, these anticoagulant drugs are being given. And for that you will find we have got very good medicines in our hand. We can post-COVID, all the complications, post-COVID complications can be well controlled by homeopathy medicine just within 24 hours. Just within 24 hours. I've seen cases just recently. One male person, 75 years old, and his wife, about 70 years old, like that. They were taking allopathy medicines. They did not know actually that homeopathy medicines does work. And by the time they came to me, actually they called me up. Actually, there was no fever, but the diarrhea was, a lot of diarrhea was there, and oxygen was just dwindling. Oxygen was dwindling. We were maybe coming in the 80, 86, 89 to 90 like that. And there's a lot of the diarrhea was not able to. They are taking anti-diarrhea drug, but diarrhea was not able to control. I gave arsenic 200 and Camphora mother tincture, and the second day diarrhea was cured. The diarrhea was cured, and actually the patient actually gradually improved. Now the patient is very fine. Today also he telephoned me. And now post-COVID complications with much cough and lungs fibrosis, Bryonia 0/3 and Kalia 0/3. You know that usually I give Bryonia 0/3, kali iode 0/3, or Bryonia 0/3 and arsenic iode 0/3. If 50 millisal potencies are not available, you can give Bryonia 30 and kali iode 30, or Bryonia 30 and arsenic iode 30. And you will find kali iode 30, you know, kali iode is a medicine actually. Kali iode is a medicine which has got a lot of action on the lungs, and also it is an anti-tubercular drug, and you will find that it is also indicated in mucormycosis. Also, it is required in case of hemorrhagic diastasis. It covers hemorrhagic diastasis. So kali iode is very important drug, and similarly arsenic iode also, both covering the symptoms of arsenic and iode. Arsenic iode, and it is the most important. I mean, one of the most important anti-tubercular drugs. Arsenic iode is a medicine which is required from cold to carcinoma. I have used arsenic iode in many cases, right from cold to carcinoma. We'll find in the beginning of the cold also, when there is running up nose and obstruction of nostril is there, you can give arsenic iode. The discharge is usually acrid. And in cancerous stage, I have given arsenic iode. We'll find when there is cancer of any abdominal organ and the para-aortic lymph nodes are enlarged, because you know arsenic iode is a glandular medicine. All iodes are glandular medicines. All iodes are glandular medicines. And arsenic iode is a very good medicine when the para-aortic lymph nodes are enlarged. You give arsenic iode in 50 minutes on scale and you see the result. And arsenic iode I also give in case of brain tumor. In case of brain tumor, and here there is atrophic brain changes there, arsenic iode is my choicest drug. I usually give arsenic iode. And in case of this COVID-19, I have given to a lot of cases arsenic iode. And we'll find no post-COVID complications will arise by using just lachesis and arsenic iode. Please remember, lachesis 200, I have told you, initially 3 doses per day for 1 week, 2 doses per daily for 1 week, and 1 dose per daily for another 1 week. And arsenic iode, thrice daily in the first week, twice daily in the second week, and once daily in the third and fourth week. And you'll find almost 99% of complications will never appear. Be sure of it. So, and and now, so most commonly I give Bryonia 0/3, kali iode 0/3, or Bryonia 0/3 and arsenic iode 0/3, thrice daily. And when there is no cough, the patient is feeling better, the patient is active, and no weakness is there, then I usually change to once daily. And within you will find 1 or 2 medicines or 1 or 2 files are enough to bring total cure to the patient. I already discussed that if there is loose motion, then you give Veratrum Alp 200, arsenic Alp 200, and Camphora Q. So if there is loose motion, please think of 3 drugs which are important. One is Veratrum Alp 200, arsenic Alp 200, and Camphora Mother. These 3 drugs are required in case of if there is actually loose motion, diarrhea. Very important. Although Veratrum Alp and Veratrum Viridis both are required, both are important drugs in case of this lungs disorder, in case of pneumonia, in case of pleurisy, etc. But we'll find Veratrum Alp is indicated when there is usually loose motion, and Veratrum Viridis when the brain complaint is more there. You'll find there is a lot of headache is there, or blood pressure is high. We can think using their Veratrum Viridis. Remember, if the head congestion is there, hypertension is there, and there is a lot of headache also, severe headache is there, blood pressure is high, then please give Veratrum Viridis. And if there is loose motion, you can think of giving Veratrum Alp. Okay. And so now coming to the cardiac complication, post-COVID complications with cardiac complications. Usually I give Crataegus mother tincture, Adonis mother tincture, and Lorocerassus 30. And in certain cases, if the patient may require Kalmia like that, but usually these drugs are Crataegus mother tincture and Adonis mother tincture, Adonis mother tincture are enough to take care of the heart. If you find your patient is a cardiac patient, then you can, when quite ahead, you can use these 2 mother tinctures. Crataegus mother tinctures, 7 to 10 drops twice daily. Adonis mother tincture, 7 to 10 drops twice daily. These two will be enough to take care of the cardiac symptoms. And occasionally you may have to require Loroserrasus 30 if there is little exertional dyspnea. If there is exertional dyspnea, think of giving Loroserrasus 30. And please remember also these three drugs. In case of any, actually you will find this, this valvular disorder, particularly, in case of infants and children will find, or congenital heart disease. Please remember, in any congenital heart disease involving any valves of the heart, give these three drugs: Crataegus mother tincture, Adalimumab mother tincture, and Loroserrasus 30. And you will find that immediately within 7 days, all cyanotic cardiac disorders will be controlled. No cyanosis will be there. And you will find any adult heart patient can do his normal activities. No more dyspnea, no more exertional dyspnea. Please remember these three drugs: Crataegus mother tincture, Adalimumab mother tincture, and Loroserrasus 30. And these three are also required in case of our COVID cases. It can take well care of the heart of our patients. And in case of headache, post-COVID complication headache, you can give Veratrum Viridi. I have discussed Veratrum Viridi, Belladonna 200, Arnica Mot 1M, and Glonine 200. These four drugs may be required in case of post-COVID headache. I have treated a lot of cases, maybe about 20-30 cases of severe headache, excruciating headache, which are cured by these drugs almost immediately. In very rare, in one case, I have given Chionanthus V mother tincture. Chionanthus V mother tincture in only 1 or 2 cases I had given to control the headache, but otherwise all my patients are cured with Veratrum Viridi, Belladonna, and also Arnica Mot in certain cases, Arnica Mot and Glonine. Why Arnica Mot? Because you know there is bleeding disorder and there may be intracranial hemorrhage. So to protect that, to prevent that, Arnica may be required. Arnica 1M may be required. Okay. Then let's come to with weakness. Post-COVID complications with weakness. We'll find 2 drugs which are most important in case of weakness is Stanozolid and Carovage. Stanozolid 200 and Carovage 200. These are very important to cure the weakness. But one drug we must remember, that is Natrum Rs 30. Please remember that Natrum Rs 30 is a drug which should be given in case of any cold and bronchitis, and it conserves, it cuts the disease, course of disease, and also conserves energy. It is the most important drug. It is the most, usually I like this drug. It is my favorite drug. In case of any case, particularly in case of children which are above 7 years, when they are suffer from common cold, and the patients which are prone for bronchitis, just give Natrum Rs 30. And in all your COVID cases, pediatric cases, where you anticipate that the patient may turn to bronchitis, just as a preventive, give Natrum Rs 30. Please remember Natrum Rs 30, which is most important drug after any common cold. It facilitates the termination of cold and conserves strength and appetite and racking cough and oppression of the chest and bronchitis and asthma. Plus, so remember this Natrum Rs 30. And also another drug is there, that is Antim Rs 30. But the Antim Rs 30 is more actually serious, more severe, more complicated. It covers the symptoms of antimony, antimtat, as well as arsenic. Now, come to another stage, which is low sodium and low potassium. If there is sodium or potassium, imbalance, you just select 2 drugs, Natrum Rs 30 and Kali Iod 30. Or if you have a possible Kali Iod, you can give 50-minute scale. If 50-minute scale is available, then start Kali Iod 0/3 thrice, because it will take care of everything. It will immediately bring balance to the potassium level, and it will also take care of the cough and remaining cough, and also any complication chest damage there. It will take care of that, and also it will prevent mucormycosis and also can cure mucormycosis. So please remember about this Kali Iod. So in case of low sodium, think of Natrum Rs, and low potassium or high potassium, you can think Kali Iod. Now, next is pediatric cases. Now, I have already told you that most of the pediatric cases do respond well to arsenic 30 and ferrum. Arsenic 30 or 200, and ferrum phos 30. You will find these two drugs will cure most of your pediatric cases of and what? I mean our COVID cases. Almost all COVID cases, pediatric cases will almost respond 90% to these two drugs only, arsenic Al 30 or 200 even, and ferrum phos 30 or 200. Alternately, you give and you see the result. In rare cases, you will find I give also from the beginning in case of pediatric cases. In certain cases, I give Sepia 200, Sepia 200. Now, occasionally I have used Sepia 200 in cough, in high fever. I advise the patient you can take, if the fever was 100 above, then you can give an antipyretic drug. And just after the fever, I advise the patient just to give natrum Rs 30. Now, next please. Now I will present you some cases, some cured cases. I will present you all the cases which I have dealt, and all the cases who have received homeopathic medicines, taken homeopathic medicines, they are cured. Only I will see that the cases who are not able to, I am just listening the case, sending the medicines, but they are not able to give them because the cases are in ventilator. That's why these people are dying. But no medicine, no, out of the 200 cases, actually, I have dealt about more than about 60 cases which are in the critical stage, and about 4 or 5 cases which are in very critical stage, and they were all cured. And now coming to a very critical stage, actually, he was in ICU, but they have requested the doctor, because the doctors were, at that time, they are gone, man, the case was gone. They have raised their hands. That's why they listened to their request and gave our medicines. And he was a 58 years. This is a case of last year. It was a COVID with pneumonia, and he was in ICU, and he was in 100% oxygen support, and there was a lot of cough was there. And what medicines did I give? I have given Crotalus Saridus 30, Rumex 30, and Eucalyptus mother tincture. And within 2 days, the cough was better. Much weakness was there, and no improvement in oxygen level was there. So then I changed. I have added Stanomet 200, Crotalus S 30, Eucalyptus mother tincture, and Vanadium 30. And you'll find that you'll be astonished that within only 3-4 days, and the patient felt much better, and oxygen support was reduced only to 3 to 5 liters per day. And then I have given Lachesis 50 ml thrice daily. Oxygen support was reduced only to 3 liters per day. And then he was discharged only within 3 days thereafter. And after 3 days he was discharged, there was a lot of palpitation. I have given Naja 200 followed by Iveris 30. Because you find these two are very important drugs. In case of palpitation is there, I have given Naja 200 and Iveris 30. The patient responded to that. And lastly, I have given Bryonia 0Y3, 0Y4, and Antimers 30. And the patient was much better, and he joined his office. Now, case number 2 is a 63 years old COVID pneumonia in ICU. A very serious case. It was a very serious case, and our medicines responded very quickly. Case number 2 is a very serious case, and responded to homeopathic medicines very quickly and discharged in 7 days. If you like, I have to request the patient to remain in line. If you like, I can connect him. You can listen from his tone. So, okay, what medicines I have given? He was in ICU, and the patient, he was in a very critical stage, and the doctors were almost hopeless. And actually, his wife has a good contact with the hospital staff and the doctors, and he could manipulate giving our medicines. And what medicines I give at that actually? First prescription. My first prescription were Lachesis 10 Abrotanum 200, Phosphorus 200, Acid Hydrocyanic 30, and Arsenic 200. All thrice daily, except Phosphorus twice daily. You'll be astonished, in 2 days only, he was better. In 6 days, he was sent to cabin. And there was, at that time, sodium was low. I have given Natrum Rs 30 thrice daily. Sodium was better just within 2 days. And then potassium was low. I had given Kali iode 0/3. I have started Kali iode 0/3. And he was cured then, and he was discharged from the cabin to home. And after that, the cough developed, and the cough was aggravated during and after eating. And this symptom is well covered by Meserium 30. I have given Meserium 30, and within 2 to 3 days, actually more, within 2 days, the cough was controlled, and within 3 days, 3-4 days, the cough was absolutely gone. And for weakness, I had added 5+6x. And now the patient for a maintenance dose is given Bryonia 0/3, Kaliiode 0/3, Natromars 30, and 5+6x. And the patient is very fine. If you have time, I will connect him to you. Now, case number 3 and 4, these are pediatric cases, child cases actually. And first case, age 6 years, he responded only to arsenic 30 and Ferrum 30. Within 2 days, her fever, she was a girl child, her fever was all right. And one boy, her brother, and actually her mother actually contracted disease first, and then all the family members. The boy was 15 years old. He has fever and body ache, and throat symptoms were there. And I gave that boy Lachesis 200, Rostus 200, or Ferrum 30. 3 days, within 3 days, the boy was totally fully cured. And now coming to another case, this case number 5, COVID with high fever, not responding to paracetamol. COVID with high fever, not responding to paracetamol. I have given arsenic 200, Ferrum 200, Lachesis 200, cedar mother tincture, and eucalyptus mother tincture, cured in just 2 days. Now he is in maintenance dose, Kaliiode 0/3 and Natromars 30. Now coming to post-COVID-19 mucormycosis or black fungus disease. Actually, these cases I got only one case, but he didn't obey my words. So the family members did not give her medicine to him. That's why these symptoms I have collected from the different patients, from the internet and from the Scholar Google and also from the Harrison's textbook of medicine, and I have reported these cases. And you know that the common symptoms in case of mucormycosis are, because you find actually why mucormycosis is developing, you will find that usually patients with comorbidity and a long hospital stay, and mostly cases are using this steroid, and that's why you will find this steroid medicine. You will find, that this is immunosuppressant. That's why opportunistic infections are opportunistic bacteria, viruses are taking A, and also fungus. The fungal mold are developing, and that's why mucormycosis is common, in particularly patients having comorbidity and patients who are using steroids, and also who are remaining a long time in the hospital. Usually the location is mostly rhino-orbitocerebral. The location is usually rhino-orbitocerebral. You will find the nose and the paranasal sinuses and the orbit, and also we'll find it affects the brain. Although we'll find also lungs is sometimes affected, and in certain cases it causes damage to the part of the lungs, and actually in that case the treatment is usually surgery. And what are the other common symptoms? You will find there is nose block, thrust in nostril, swelling of face and eyelids, throbbing headache, pain of facial muscles, dyspnea, nasal discharge with blood, nausea and vomiting. There may be blood vomiting, and protopsis or bulging of eyelids, just like the exophthalmic goiter. We'll find there is bulging of eyelids and necrosis of eyelids also. We'll find there occurs necrosis of the soft tissue of the eyelids, and we'll find at times necrosis of jaw and multiple areas of infarct and ischemia of the brain. All these symptoms I have reported, and I found that the medicines which are most commonly indicated are arsenic alb, phosphorus, lachesis, and mercur and Moxal, lycopodium, pulsatilla, acid nitric, Elafscor and Kaliiode. Although Elafscor and I have given it this in the reported sheet, although Elafscor and Kaliiode are not actually covered by the reported, but I find that Elafscor is the most important drug in case of mucormycosis, even say a Sickle also. But Elafscor, it is a hemorrhagic drug. It is a drug of prepared from the snake, or like all snake poisons. This is also hemorrhagic drug, and this is most important because black fungus or black cross and black bleeding or black discharge from nose. This is most important in case of Elafscor. Usually we give Elafscor in case of paralysis of the right side. But here, please remember, Elafscor is a good medicine, And most important medicine, other medicines are arsenic and sin nitric, and also you'll find phosphorus. Lachesis also. So now you see that lachesis, you see, please remember that lachesis, phosphorus, and also arsenic, and I have told you kali iode. These drugs are covering the COVID-19 from beginning to end, from starting from common cold till the pharmaceutical development of lungs damage, till the development of this mucormycosis. These drugs will help us and will be definitely successful. Now, these are some of the presentations I have told you. Now, if you like, I can discuss you some of the medicines, some of the drugs actually, why I am giving these drugs. I've told you the anti-MERS. Anti-MERS is catarrhal pneumonia, which developing after influenza actually. And anti-MERS, please remember the symptoms of anti-manutatum. There is rattling of cough. There is the patient is not able to cough it out, and we'll find there is myocardiac and cardiac weakness. So when these things are there, you can think of anti-MERS. And anti-MTAT, you know that there is almost the person is almost in the paralytic stage of the lungs and is not able to cough. There is rattling of chest, but he is not able to cough it out. And there is palpitation and pulse rate is high. And remember Ferrum Phos, it is a very good medicine in case of COVID because it is also an anti-hemorrhagic drug. Ferrum Phos is also an anti-hemorrhagic drug and anti-inflammatory right from the very beginning. It is Ferrum Phos. So please do not forget about Ferrum Phos, which you know that it starts midway between aconite and belladonna. So remember this Ferrum Phos. And lachesis, I have told it is also from the very beginning till the end. And also I have told you that in case of adults and in case of persons having comorbidity, start lachesis from the very beginning, so that the patient there will be no bleeding or clotting disorders, and the lungs will be much protected, and there will be oxygen level will be always maintained, and we'll find it will also prevent mucormycosis. And Crotalus, I have told you that there is vertigo, lung symptoms. In comparison to lung symptoms, we'll find when head symptom is there, we'll find the fever is not responding. It is covering malignant fever. You know, Crotalus horridus covers malignant fever. But we'll find lachesis covers most of the lung symptoms, but Crotalus doesn't cover most of the lung symptoms. That's why lachesis is more indicated in comparison to Crotalus horridus. I have already discussed about the arsenic iode. It is my choicest drug in many cases, starting from common cold to carcinoma, and also in case of in the COVID, just after the fever is over, I start giving lachesis and arsenic iode. Why eucalyptus? I have already told you that eucalyptus covers from cold to typhoid fever, and also it protects the lungs. And you will be astonished that in most of the cases of catarrh of the bladder or cystitis, or in case of prostate, enlarged prostate, where you will find there is urination is frequent, I give two medicines. One is Rus aromatica, and the second is eucalyptus mother tincture. Please remember, I give you Rus aromatica mother tincture and eucalyptus mother tincture in case of prostatic inflammation, prostatitis, or in case of particularly cystitis, where cystitis is there. And it also I give this drug in case of kidney failure. You'll find in case of kidney failure also, this also controls the it can control the urea and creatinine level. So, and also it covers the throat symptoms, it covers the respiratory symptom, and also occasionally, in case of COVID, you are finding diarrhea symptom. This eucalyptus also covers diarrhea symptom. That's why eucalyptus mother tincture is a very common medicine, which I also of course use. So actually, this is already 9:10. If you permit me, I can talk a little more, or we'll stop here and invite question answers. Whatever you plan, we'll do like that. If you go for question answers, it's all right. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes. If you want any question answer, it's all right. Or if you like, would you like to listen from the patient which just he was cured? He was a very serious case. If you like, I can connect him. So according to your choice.
5 minutes we can continue, sir.
Shall I connect him? Shall I connect the patient, or you want question answer?
In English, if he's speaking, we can connect, sir.
He speak in English. He is a banker. He is a retired bank officer. He can speak in English.
Okay, sir. Okay.
I'm connecting him, but if you want, you can ask any questions if you like. But one more thing I must tell you, that even if, whenever you are getting a case, just request the patient to do long exercise. What is long exercise? Two things are there, which is in UK, everybody is practicing long exercise. They are telling it as sectional breathing. Tell the patient to slowly inhale slowly but completely. Slowly inhale, the lower abdomen will be filled up, the chest will be filled up, and the upper chest will be filled up. And slowly exhale. Okay? So this is sectional breathing. And another is very easy, long onkar. I tell all my patients, practice long onkar. Jitna, as long as possible, let the patient do long onkar for 5 minutes in one span, for 3 spans. Morning 5 minutes, afternoon 5 minutes, and evening 5 minutes. So if any person practices long onkar for 3 spans in a day, his case will never go worse. And whatever stage may be, we'll find gradually he will gradually, but actually he is not responding. All right. But this is very important. Please remember this, that advise your patient to do long onkar 5 minutes in a span, 3 spans in a day. We'll find that if the person is already suffered 5, 6, and 10 days, we find he cannot be able to do long onkar immediately. But gradually we'll find within 1 to 2 days, we'll find there will be much improvement. Please tell your patients to practice long onkar and sectional breathing for 5 minutes in 3 spans in a day. Definitely you will find very good result from your patients. Thank you. Any questions? Any more questions, please?
Thank you, sir. We'll go for question and answer session.
Thank you very much, sir. That was a wonderful presentation. Now we'll move on to the question and answer session. I would like to invite Dr. Avinash to take over the question and answer session.
Thank you. The first question is, please suggest preventive medicine for third wave of COVID-19, especially for pediatric cases.
Right. So these days, actually, you see from our experiences, you can see that which medicines are mostly covering the symptoms of almost all the symptoms of COVID-19. I found that arsenic and phosphorus are the 2 important drugs which are covering almost all the symptoms of COVID-19. That's why my request is that you give arsenic 30 once daily for 4 days in a month, maybe in the first week. Second week, you give phosphorus 200 once daily for 3 days only. And third week, you give tuberculum 200 once daily for 2 days only. Please remember, first week, arsenic 30, 1 dose daily for 4 days. Second week, phosphorus 200, 1 dose daily for 3 days only. Third week, tuberculum 200, 1 dose daily for 2 days only. This is, I think, enough. And if the person, suppose in a family, one person is suffering from COVID-19, he's contracted COVID-19. Now the other persons, the other family members should take arsenic 200 and ferrum phos 30. Please remember, arsenic 200 twice daily and ferrum phos 30 or 200 twice daily for 7 days. This will, in most of the cases, you will find the other persons in the family will not be affected. Suppose you have seen a patient in a very close proximity, or you have gone to a very crowded area where you have seen actually there is suspicion that there is a lot of COVID cases are there. then also one can take this dosage. Arsenic 200 twice daily for 7 days and ferrum phos 200 twice daily for 7 days, or along with the arsenic 200 and ferrum phos 200. In many cases, in many families, I have seen that the person who have received arsenic 200 and ferrum phos 200 twice daily for 7 days, they did not contract COVID-19. That is in my to prevent COVID-19.
Second question, post-COVID breathing difficulty, potencies and mother tincture.
Actually, potency is enough. Breathing difficulty, potency is enough. You can give just this, I have told you, Bryonia 0/3, kali iodide 0/3. That is enough. And if there is breathing difficulty and weakness is there, you can give Stanomet 200 and Carbohydrate 200, of course, you can give. Breathing difficulty and weakness is there, Stanomet 200 and Carbohydrate 200. And only weakness there, you can give Natrum R30. I have told you that Natrum R30. You see the result. And in some cases, you can also give 5/6x. 4 times daily, 4 tablets, 4 times daily. You can give 5/6x and Natrum R30. And if there is just dyspnea and there is cough, etc., and weakness is there, you can think of giving Stanomet 200 and Carbohydrate 200. And of course, you'll be astonished. You give, and you'll see that kali iodide 30, or usually I'm giving 0/3. If you do not get 0/3, you can start even giving 30. You can give also German potency 30, very small pack. You can give 30 per potency, and Bryonia. These two will cure the nagging cough or slight cough is there, weakness is there, and it will take care of the lung fibrosis. It will also prevent in the formation of future complications also. Next.
Sir, please tell about the fever after vaccination. What all medicines?
Very, very important, very easy. Any fever after vaccination, just give arsenic 30 twice or thrice daily. In 1 day, fever will be cured. And if it is fever is more, you can give you can add ferrum phos 200 or ferrum phos 30. I have given in many cases just arsenic 30 twice or thrice daily, and within 1 day, the fever is gone. And you can give, if there is more fever, no need to take any paracetamol, nothing else. You just give arsenic 30 or 200 thrice daily and ferrum phos 230 thrice daily. Twice daily, enough. I have seen all the cases, they are all responding to very well to these two drugs. Usually, I give only arsenic 30 or 200.
Next question.
Yes.
Can homeopathic medicine dependable for mucormycosis?
Actually, because I have told you that I have done many reportation, I have sent you only one reportation sheet, but I have seen complete reportation. I have gone through Bogar reports. I have gone through Pathak, and I have gone through Harrison's textbook of medicine, and I have collected the symptoms here, and most of the medicines I have given, and almost I am sure, because these medicines are covering the symptoms, I am sure that they can cure. You know, kali iodide, actually, what happens actually? First, the fungus affects the, paranasal sinuses. Then they affect the orbit. And what they do? They affect they form fungal growth, molds they form, and you'll find they damage the muscles first. And even in certain cases, they will damage the jaw. First, they damage the jaw, then they enter the brain. And the brain, will find they damage the brain, and also will find they cause clotting disorders, etc. and necrosis, etc. And you'll find, kali iodide is a drug which also protects right from the beginning, and you'll find kali iodide is a very good drug for anti-syphilitic. It is an anti-syphilitic drug, and also lachesis also. So in certain cases also she can recur, but I think you will find phosphorus, acid nitric, lachesis, kali iodide. Okay? And arsenic also. These are the drugs I think I'm sure they will cover this year. And also I request you that because in these cases you cannot get definite symptoms, you should use multiple drugs. Don't blame me here. You should use multiple drugs because in these cases we cannot entirely depend, because already the cases are already the organs are damaged. So when there is organ damage and you cannot get definite symptoms, that time you must take recourse to multiple drugs. Many drugs are giving certain little gaps. Okay.
Next question. How to treat side effects of steroids in COVID or post-COVID patients homeopathically?
Yes. Actually, most of the steroid side effects can be counteracted by arsenic. So if you and also no need to go for any specific just give these medicines. I have told you that lachesis, bryonia, and Kalia, they are required actually. So if you give these drugs also, the side effects will be gradually reduced. And also, of course, arsenic is one of the good drug to counteract the side effects of steroids. Okay. Because I have seen a lot of cases, I have dealt a lot of cases, and you will astonish you. I am giving you another example of a doctor. He's an allopathy doctor. He's about 67 years age, and he came to me about his, about his 10th day or like that. By that time, he was taking steroid, and very high dose of steroid. He was taking about 40 milligram steroid, methyl prednisolone. And by the time he came to me, the dose was 18. I said, sir, I got the patient. Can I contact him? Sir, should you want to contact him? Connect him.
It's okay, sir. It's okay.
Connecting.
Okay, sir.
Sir.
Okay.
Please, Rajni Das, please. Can you please tell to our esteemed doctors what was your experience when you have used homeopathic drugs? Hello? Can you please tell to our doctors what was your experience when you have used your homeopathic drugs?
Thank you very much, sir. It's the opportunity given to me regarding the COVID experiences when I was offering. Hey, I'm R.K. Das. In the COVID, when I got little pain in the chest, the respiratory problem, so I get admitted immediately in the allopathy hospital here in the high-tech hospital. But there, I find the way they started the treatment, it was with the antibiotics and some steroids. Even if I know they are steroids, still I didn't prohibit, I accepted. But immediately, I contacted Dr. Misra, who is a homeopathy retired professor, and I got the different medicines for different problems. When he asked me the various problems regarding this COVID effect, I told them that every 48 hours they were testing my blood. They found that after getting this steroid, I was having the laxity of sodium. When sodium reduces, the allopathy doctor, they advised me to take the salt water. Again, I find that the BP is very high. Then I told them that if BP is high, if I'll take the salt water, then it will be another problem for me. Then they told her, no, that will be managed. Then sugar is also high. Immediately, so I contacted Dr. Misra, from whom I took this homeopathy medicine, who told me that within 24 hours, your sodium will be all right. So accordingly, I took, even if in the hospital, without taking the permission of the hospital authorities, I myself was taking homeopathy medicine there. And I found that when the next 48 hours, they took my blood and tested, so sodium was all right. And the same way, they told me that potassium is little high. You have to avoid certain foods and all these things. For that also, I informed Dr. Misra. He gave me another medicine. That medicine he was prescribing, and my elder brother, he was carrying me to the hospital. So I took that, and I find that the same after 24 hours, after 48 hours, when they tested, again they told me that the potassium is also all right. And in the same way also the oxygen. After taking this oxygen medicines, homeopathy medicines, I found that I was using the mask, oxygen mask, while my oxygen was below 90. Just it was 88, 90. That time I was taking the oxygen mask. So I removed the mask. I felt the whole day. During the night first, I took for 2 hours, 3 hours. I found what is the experiences. Again, the whole day, I detached my mask. I took only the homeopathy medicine. And I find that it's completely, oxygen is all right. Always it was above 96. These are the good experiences. And still now, whatever medicines during the discharge, allopathy prescribed, with that also, that some medicines they were giving like some vitamins and some little medicines for the further 7 days. But with that, I was taking vitamins, but I was giving more importance to the homeopathic medicines, which I took. Side by side, I was consulting with Dr. Mishra. So I got much more improved. Even whatever respiratory pain was there, little after discharge, within 3 days, I recovered, 100% I recovered. I started walking even though when I was feeling difficult to talk. But now, I felt even after 3 days of taking this homeopathy medicine, I completely recovered. I started walking, jogging and everything. Of course, I've been restricted to go for heavy exercise, but I am going for 2 to 3 kilometers of morning walk. After that, other household work and my own work. Till now, I feel no problems at all. And thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It was nice to know the results, practical results.
He's a retired bank officer and his age is about 63 years like that. Any more question?
There are many questions, sir. Shall I go ahead?
Oh, if you like, you can go ahead.
Yes. What is the time difference between 2 drugs when you are administrating 2 or 3 medicine in a day?
The person who was telling to you, describing to you his experience, I have just given 5 minutes gap, because in the ICU you cannot remain for a longer period. They will allow the attendant only, because his wife was also suffering from COVID. That's why they have allowed his wife to go to him, and he only allowed. She was only allowed only half an hour like that, half an hour or 1 hour or maximum 2 hours. So within that 2 hours, she is to give 6 medicines. So 5-10 minutes in the critical stages, 5 to 10 minutes gap is enough for us. And if the patient is at home, then you can give the gap of at least half an hour to 1 hour is good. Anything more?
Another one question, sir. How you treated the COVID patient in your clinic or telephonically?
No, actually, I don't take cases in the clinic. Telephonically, I discuss over telephone, and in certain cases over video, and usually I discuss over and prescribe medicine in the WhatsApp. Whatever medicines I prescribe in the WhatsApp.
Next question, sir. Why Crotalus horridus in fever? Question mark.
Actually, you will find that Crotalus horridus is a medicine in case of malignant fever. So when the fever is not responding to any drug, because Crotalus horridus is our age, what is the total pathology of this COVID-19? Because COVID-19 is a hemorrhagic disease. That's why we are choosing also hemorrhagic medicines. So Crotalus horridus is one of them. That's why we are giving Crotalus horridus in case of if the fever is not responding. Also, in case of when the patient is having cardiac symptoms, also we think of giving Crotalus horridus. And also Crotalus horridus in many cases can reduce the D-dimer. High potential Crotalus horridus like 1M can reduce the D-dimer. You will be astonished. The D-dimer is very quickly reduced. CRP is quickly reduced by giving homeopathic medicines. Once Bryonia and Kaliad started, the CRP will find gradually reduced. TLC will be reduced. And D-dimer will be reduced by giving lachesis, as well as you will find Crotalus horridus. But no 2 snake medicines to be given at a time. Either you choose lachesis or Crotalus horridus, or you can choose Elaps coraliums in the last stage, but don't give 2 snake medicines at a time. Okay.
Next question, sir.
Yes.
Sir, please suggest medicine for post-COVID polyarthritis.
Polyarthritis. Also, you know that
Sir, we are not able to hear.
In case of rheumatism, in case of shedding pain in the ear, and also you will find, so you can think of giving Kaliad. Of course, if it is a post-COVID case and the symptoms are, you can get definite symptoms, you can choose any medicines you like. Suppose some common medicines like Phytoloca you can choose, and so you can think of giving Formica rufa or formic acid you can think of giving. And also you can give, if there is swelling and pain in the joints, you can think of giving Bryonia also you can give it. Just like other commonly. But if you relate COVID, then you'll find Kali iodide is very good because it covers all the symptoms of joints also. In rheumatism, in joint pain, it covers many things.
Next question. Again, same question. How much time? That is clear. Any dietary requirements along with this?
You see, some doctors, some physicians, they tell that you take rice or you take natural normal diet, you can take fish, even etc. But don't give like that. If the person is having fever, give light diet. Whatever you think you can give in the first few days when there is high fever, you can give liquid diet or very easily digestible diet. You can give. But don't give very rich food there. Yeah? Don't think that the patient will be weakened by not giving required calorie. Don't think of calorie because the diseases are the viruses and bacteria grow well when you take more and more calorie. In naturopathy, the principle is as much as possible you take fasting. There is a shloka in naturopathy, Ayurveda, that sarva rogo malabasa langhanam paramaushad. That all diseases are formed due to the accumulation of bad matter in the body. Malavasa, just like not good motion like that, not good excretion like that. And langhanam paramaushati. The most important medicine, the most highest medicine is langhanam, means upavasa, means fasting. So if a person can fast, actually, he can already fasting by just taking some juice, by just taking only some water only, then you'll find he'll be much easily cured. Don't think that good calorie is required. That is given by some people in the hospitals like that. Don't give like that, not necessary. But first principle is light diet. Light diet and omkara or sectional breathing or yogic breathing, that is called. Tell your patient and will find the result will be much better. Okay.
There are many questions, sir. Shall I continue?
You can continue if you have time.
Yes, sir. In Maharashtra, we have cystitis-like symptoms. Please suggest remedy for this. I don't know whether it is related to this topic.
I've already, but in case of cystitis, this eucalyptus mother tincture is a good medicine for cystitis. Eucalyptus mother tincture and Ras aromatica. These are very good medicines for cystitis. And then you see what is the presenting symptom. Suppose cystitis with burning or pain is there, you can think some medicine. Suppose cystitis with the flow is obstructed or the flow is thin stream is there. You can think of clematis. You can think cannabis sativa. You can think. But if cystitis is with inflammatory symptoms like fever, etc., then some other medicine should be given. But I have already told you that eucalyptus mother tincture. Please explain it. Practice and give to patient and see and tell me. Eucalyptus mother tincture you can give, or mother tincture you can give Ras aromatica also. Ras aromatica, so we'll find also cystitis with involuntary urination in the night. We find elderly person, old age person, cystitis and involuntary urination in the night during sleep. One medicine is very important, Ras aromatica cure.
Medicine for sleeplessness.
Oh, in case of COVID also,
COVID, yeah.
I have found some cases of sleeplessness. I had given only Calibrum 30. Calibrum 30 is not very frequently, one dose at bedtime. And in many cases, I had got good result. Calibrum 30.
Then how to control high sugar in COVID?
Actually, high sugar medicines are the person must take his own medicine, or if he is on insulin dependent, then he should take insulin. But usually, suppose the cause is steroid, because you know that in most of the cases, in non-diabetic, so the persons they develop high sugar by taking steroids. So that will be immediately cured by taking lacasis. You see, only 2-3 days are required. Only 2-3 days are required. If you can give lacasis 0/3 twice daily, thrice daily, you will find only 3 days are required to control this high sugar level. You can control it very well.
Sir, how to manage bradycardia as low as 50 per minute during COVID?
All right. For that, you can go for digitalis and you can go for Crataegus mother tincture. I have told you, because there is a heart tonic is there. And also give some, ORS feed also give some ORS feed. So by 3, you can adjust digitalis 30 and Crataegus mother tincture, and also give some ORS drink.
Sir, can we give tuberculum in a patient who has history of pulmonary tuberculosis as past medical history?
No, doesn't matter.
Either in childhood or recently, past history of TB.
Childhood or adulthood, if suppose somebody is having tuberculosis 3 years back, now you are giving 2-3 doses of tuberculum, 200 or 1 ml, it doesn't matter. Don't worry.
What's your view on COVID vaccination? Seen any side effect of vaccine? This is
COVID vaccination?
Yes, sir.
Actually,
general question.
Any vaccination is actually bad. Any vaccination is bad, actually. Actually, you see, in the first wave, by the time first wave was there, no vaccine was there? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Achha. But when our country was able to control that or not? So we are able to control without vaccine. So why not control it without vaccine in second wave? Achha. Also, I have seen a lot of cases. You must have been seeing like that. That most of the cases, many of the cases, I have seen that people have taken vaccine and well ahead, they have contracted. Maybe they have received vaccine 3 months back, but they have contracted COVID and COVID-19, and they are dying. Many cases I have seen. Many cases. So, actually, vaccination is not the way, actually, because virus will always change its, because virus will try to survive. So, virus will try to accommodate to the changing situations, and vaccination is one of the. And also, you know that no vaccine is till date, nothing is sure. Nobody is giving a guarantee. Nobody is saying that this vaccine will work or not. It is just, a kind of, just a business purpose like that. But as a scientist, we should not deny that vaccination is not required. But as a homeopath, I can say that vaccination is actually not required. And vaccination is rather harmful. And vaccination will help the bacteria, virus to be more and more stronger and change its, form and strategy like that.
And medicine for prostatitis.
Prostatitis are not related to COVID.
Okay, sir.
Which are not related, but if you learn, because I have had a good experience about prostatitis. I have already told you that I was I have undertaken a research project on benign hypertrophy of the prostate. So, and also I have told you that prostatitis, suppose you will say it is prostatitis, suppose prostate size is not high. Size is not more than the normal size, or slightly there is increased size of the prostate, but there is all the symptoms of cystitis. Or just like a frequency of urination is there, bacterial urination is there, or involuntary urination is there, or we'll find all these things are the signs of cystitis. And these things can be well controlled by constitutional medicine, as well as giving these mother tinctures like eucalyptus mother tincture and Ras aromatica mother tincture. Constitutional medicines usually they come like Thuja 30 or Thuja you can give, and also in some cases I have told you that cannabis sativa also, in many cases cannabis sativa also is indicated. Yeah? And also other constitutional drugs like even phosphorus, lycopodium also. Lycopodium is very important drug. Most cases, in many cases, we find lycopodium is also required. Any constitutional drug may be required, but these are very common drugs. And also as mother tincture, you can think of eucalyptus and also Ras aromatica.
What about CRP increased after COVID? And another question is ferritin increase in COVID medicines.
Yes. Actually, CRP will not increase after COVID, because CRP is related to any inflammation. Suppose after COVID there is a long inflammation is there, or long, I mean, this fibrosis is more there, or there is underneath there is destruction is going on, then CRP will increase. And if you give our medicine, I have told you already, Bryonia 0/3 and Kali iode 0/3, you will find in, and also arsenic iode also I have told you, arsenic iode, most important, lachesis, arsenic iode, Bryonia and Kali iode. Remember 5 drugs actually, you will find it, you can very easily control the infection and you will find the CRP will go normal. So I have given a lot of cases actually. This case also describing you, in that case also CRP was much high and it is reduced and reduced. By just taking our medicines. And why I claim that by taking our medicines he is cured? Because the result is almost after, he told you directly, that after 24 hours, after 2 days only, after 48 hours, he told you. So this type of result cannot you get in by taking allopathic medicines. You cannot get it. Oxygen level will be controlled, just guarantee, you can give guarantee. In case you just give lachesis, I have told you lachesis, abrotanum and Veratramal, and what I've told, what? Carohes. These 3 drugs you give. 3 drugs I am giving usually. Those where you are the cases are actually not under our control. I am giving 3 drugs. One is lachesis 200 thrice daily, and abrotanum 200 thrice daily, and Veratramal 200 thrice daily. Okay. You want to see the result within only 24 hours. You can appreciate actually homeopathic medicines are working. Okay. Cough, I just give 24 hours. Within 24 hours, any type of cough related to COVID will be cured. Will come to at least 90% cure, and it may take about 3-4 days to totally cure the cough. However, serious the cough may be. And medicines I have given, simple medicines I have told you. Okay. Any more? Please give my phone number to anybody. They can contact me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll put it in chat box, sir.
Okay.
There are many questions. Shall I take 1 or 2 questions, sir?
You can go ahead. I have got time. You can go ahead.
Okay, sir. Okay. Sir, can supplements given during treatment like vitamin C, does it alter our action of medicine?
No, it will not alter. Any vitamin will not alter our action of medicine, but vitamins have got very minimal role actually. People tell in the name of vitamin. Actually, if you go through textbooks, it is written that no vitamins should be given actually. And many vitamins at a time should not be given, particularly in elder cases. It is written in textbook of medicine. You go through textbook of medicine. It is written that when you are prescribing an additional vitamin medicine to an elderly person, think 1,000 times. Because even vitamins will interact and will, particularly they are giving vitamin D and vitamin vitamin D and vitamin C is all right. You can take it as vitamin B complex also. It is water soluble. But vitamin D they are giving rampantly. And vitamin D, vitamin D and vitamin E, these are fat soluble vitamins. They will not be restricted very easily and they can do more damage. So by that I am not discouraging anybody to take vitamin, but the way we are taking vitamin A to Z, you take everything, and also vitamin D, 60K, also you are giving 60,000 international unit. It's very dangerous. One can take, but not this much.
What's your view on oxygen supplement? Is it needed for those having SpO2 80?
No, oxygen.
Also, treated any cases of silent hypoxia or happy hypoxia? No,
I have not actually come across this type of cases, but actually I have treated cases which are having very low oxygen, like 80, 84 like that. I have treated also cases, but actually when this is coming to 80, then actually oxygen support is required actually. But usually cases are coming to us in a late stage. But because I have told you that if the medicine, these 3 medicines are given and Omkara 5 minutes 3 times a day, you will find within 1 day, just give me time, 1 day, the oxygen will go high. Okay, oxygen will come to the normal stage. No seriousness will be there.
Sir, one last question. Silesia thuja can take care of side effect of vaccine?
Not necessary. In this case, it's not necessary. It is not that type of vaccine. This is not that type of vaccine for which actually Silicea and Thuja. Actually, Silicea and Thuja are not required for any type of vaccine. It is not the panacea for a bad effect of vaccination. They cannot take care of this vaccine. This is my personal opinion because nothing is tested so far.
Post-COVID pericarditis and aortitis.
Very good. This can be very well cured by our homeopathy medicines. I have already told you 2 important mother tinctures, Crataegus mother tincture, and this Adonisolver mother tincture, and medicines will be required. Veratrum viridum will be required. Veratrum viridum will be required. And our lachesis also, lachesis, Veratrum viridi, and also Kali iod. And also, you know, this sepia also. Sepia is also, when there is cardiac affection is there, sepia is also indicated here. These are very easy. Actually, these pericarditis, etc., are very easy to be cured by homeopathy medicines. You just give homeopathy medicines, and along with that, you can of course give this 2 mother tinctures, Crataegus mother tinctures and Adonisolver mother tincture.
Sir, we will end up the session by one last question, sir. Any remedies for lung fibrosis after COVID?
For lungs?
Lung fibrosis.
Yeah, I have told you. Bryonia, please remember Bryonia, Kali iod, and arsenic iod, and lachesis. Lachesis, Bryonia, Kali iod, and arsenic iod are the most important medicines that we require. Lungs fibrosis and etc. Just if you are getting cases, you give these medicines, you see the result within just every 24 hours, you assess the result and see and tell me any. You will be satisfied. And in some cases, suppose there is some symptom of cardiac symptoms, suppose like pain is there, you can think of giving Calmia also. But in certain cases, otherwise these are enough.
Yes, sir. Dr. Vinny?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for this very informative session and answering all our questions. We are grateful for the time and effort you took to share your wisdom and valuable experience. Thank you all for joining us. Hope we all will be greatly benefited by this session. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Greta Lobo, Vice President, IHMA Mangalore, to propose the vote of thanks.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. Greta Lobo, Vice President, IHMA Mangalore. Would like to present the vote of thanks. First of all, I would like to thank Dr. A.K. Mishra for this wonderful presentation. Sir, it was a great learning experience for all of us. I hope all the delegates will learn so much from this session and will use this in their practical experiences in their clinics. Sir's 40 years of teaching and 42 years of clinical experience has enriched us. Sir has given us many of the practical tips. Thank you, sir, for this. And you have given us details of real practical cases, especially critical cases, mucormycosis, etc. And so you have saved many lives also, and you have honored homeopathy. Thank you for this. Also, I would like to thank Dr. Praveen Kumar Rai, President, IHMA Mangalore, Dr. Avinash, Secretary, IHMA Mangalore, for their enthusiastic work towards IHMA Mangalore and also towards Saukya webinars. I also would like to thank all the office bearers of IHMA Mangalore for their constant support. Thank you, Dr. Deepu, for helping us to arrange this Saukya webinars. Thank you, Dr. Vinny Matthew, for your warm welcome. Finally, I would like to thank all the delegates for making this webinar a successful one. Thank you, one and all, and good night.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. By this, we come to the end of today's webinar. Let's not fear. Let's take up the responsibility and fight against COVID. Thank you.